Hello, students. In today's lecture, I'll explain William Wordsworth's famous sonnet, The World is Too Much with Us. So, this sonnet was written in 1802 when Wordsworth was 32, and he published this sonnet in 1807 in the collection Poems in Two Volumes. This is a Petrarchan sonnet, and a Petrarchan sonnet is divided into two parts, octave and a sestate. Octave presents the problem, and in sestate, the poet offers the solution. So, in this sonnet, Wordsworth talks about his disillusionment by the fact that humans were no longer connected to the nature. Due to industrial revolution, man was cut off from natural world and was more inclined towards the materialistic world. To talk about the poem, to start the poem, he says, "The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon." So the world is too much with us. The world here signifies the materialistic world. And he says that we are too much occupied, preoccupied with this materialistic world. We are only concerned about hoarding wealth. We are only concerned about earning more and more money. The world, of course, here refers to the world of power, the world of money, of worries, of anxieties, and we are too much connected with this world, the world of materialism. Late and soon, the phrase means that even in past, people were more concerned about earning money. In present times also, people are only concerned about earning, and in future too. So he says that this could also signify sooner or later, or Wordsworth says that even in the past, man was only concerned about hoarding wealth. In present also, and in the future too, he will be only concerned about earning more and more money. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Now, what we are doing today is we are earning money and immediately we are spending. So, we are like modern man, okay? He's more concerned about buying expensive clothes, about affectation. So, he's sort of, you could say, he just earns the money and he immediately spends whatever he has earned. So he's only concerned about these things. Apart from that, he is not at all interested in other, like the nature. Wordsworth says that he's no more attracted, he's no more attached towards nature. We are only engrossed in these petty issues. We lay waste our powers, we are wasting our time, we are wasting our energy on these petty issues. Little we see in nature that is ours, because we are only concerned about the materialistic world. We don't look at the nature. We are no more attracted towards the beauties of nature. We today, modern man, or you could say the young generation, it's only concerned on their cell phones, it's only interested in the gadgets. They no more look at the nature. They are no longer inspired by it. They are no longer motivated by the natural objects. So we don't look at the nature, it doesn't charm us, it doesn't affect us. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. Sordid is something which hateful, and boon is a blessing. So Wordsworth has used this paradox beautifully in order to describe that this is actually a bad deal. Now, what is a bad deal? That we are becoming more and more concerned, we are becoming more and more preoccupied with the consumerism. He says that because you could say, if you will spend little time or less time in these gadgets, or if you will be less concerned about the materialism, then it would be okay. But because we are only concerned about all these things, that's why he says that this is actually a bad deal. This is a paradox. He says this is a sordid boon. This is a bad deal. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. So, Wordsworth talks about in this, you could say, in this part, in the this is actually the next part of the octave, and he says that he talks about the close knit relationship between the sea and the moon. So the sea has been personified here as a beautiful woman, and the sea which opens her arms in order to welcome the moon, or in order to welcome the moonlight. Again he creates an image, and he says that he talks about the winds that blow strongly during the daytime, but at night it pacifies and it become calm and quiet like flowers. So the nature no longer inspires us. We are no longer attached to the beauties of nature. So by creating these images, he says that these sites, they are really beautiful, and they will definitely inspire, they will definitely motivate a person. But what we are doing today is completely different. We just don't look at nature. We think it as a useless commodity. So he says that it's beauty. So he says that we are wasting our time, we are wasting our powers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. We are no longer concerned about all these things. We become out of tune. We are going in totally wrong direction. It moves us not. Great God, I would rather be a pagan, suckle in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. So it moves us not. The nature, it definitely, it doesn't moves us. He says that now, great God, Wordsworth is definitely irritated by the fact and by the intensity. With intensity, he emphasizes on the word great God, and he expresses his desire that he must have been born as a pagan. Now, pagan is a person who follows a religion that worship many gods, or you could say a person or a religion that existed before the main worldly religions. Okay, so he says that इससे तो अच्छा होता कि वो एक पेगन की तरह बॉर्न हुआ होता है, उस रिलीजन में बॉर्न हुआ होता जहाँ पर कि मटेरियलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड के लिए कोई जगह नहीं होती, जहाँ पे लोगों का जो ओनली कंसर्न था, या लोग सिर्फ नेचर के बारे में ही ऑक्यूपाइड थे. So Maitai standing on this pleasant lea. Now lea, you could say, is a pasture or grassland. So with this image, we could imagine that maybe Wordsworth was standing on a grassland, on a pasture, and he was looking at the sea, and he was imagining that it would have been better if he was born as a pagan, so that he would not so that he was not devastated by the ignoring aspect of the world of the man. He says, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Forlorn, you could say sad, alone. He says that have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. Now, Proteus and Triton were the pagan gods. Now, Proteus was it. It was believed that he had the ability to predict the future, and Triton was also a pagan god, and he could calm the waves by blowing his horn. So he says that it would have been better if I was born as a pagan, and as a pagan, I definitely I would have been only concerned about the nature. I would have worshipped nature. So he says that it was definitely better to born in this materialistic world and to ignore the nature, to ignore the natural aspects of nature is totally devastating, is totally disillusioning. So the poem is, you could say, still relevant in today's scenario, for modern man has still not learned his lesson and he is still bent on destroying himself. So Wordsworth suggests that we should spend time with natural objects, for it surely will purify our soul and will bring a positive attitude among us. I think the poem is clear for these lines. They are very, the poem is very simple. He has expressed the meaning clearly, but on the deeper level, you could analyze how Wordsworth, or you we could easily understand that Wordsworth was definitely devastated. He expresses his anger by the present generation and for the present scenario. Hey, that's all for today. Thank you.